Good morning, Kenny. Or good evening, Kenny.
Hey, how's Eretz Yisrael?
Take a look.
Oh, where are you, Tel Aviv? Herzliya?
Tel
Beautiful.
Aviv.
Wonderful. Getting away for a little bit of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jealous. You there for Shabbos in Tel Aviv?
Yeah. No. Will probably be Modi'in. My daughter is in having a baby, God willing.
Okay. So you're there waiting for the baby?
Yeah.
I remember when my in-laws came and waited for a baby. My wife was 10 days overdue that time.
Yep, she's overdue.
Whatever. By
It's
the way, I'm
amazing.
sorry I've missed so much. It's been just a combination of, since I've gotten back to LA, it must be wedding season or whatever it is. I don't know, but I have been trying to keep it up with the tapes and everything.
Right. It's amazing. The skyline of Tel Aviv is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a different city, you know?
You know, having come here 50 years ago,
Yep.
and seeing its development, it's like seeing a newborn. It's like seeing a newborn baby grow up.
Yeah. I was just looking at my notes because I had to speak at Sheva Brachas. When they give you a 30-second Dvar Torah, you just reminded me, and I said it over, but I changed it. Rabbi Krauss said this in the name of Rav Kook. Okay? The Gemara Rosh Hashanah says there's different levels on the best shofar. So the best shofar is an ayil. Second best is a horn of a kosher animal. Third best is a yesh omrim, that if you can't get either of those, you can get a horn from a non-kosher animal. Rav Kook said there are three levels in which people return to Eretz Yisrael. Says the first level is people come to do mitzvahs, Talmidei Agra, the Ramban, etc. Meiser, Trumas, Shemitah, come to Eretz Yisrael, live a life of more mitzvahs. Says second is level of Zionists. They didn't come for religious reasons. They didn't come to do many mitzvahs, but they came because they loved Eretz Yisrael. They wanted to be part of a Jewish nation, etc. Says the third level is you're pushed by pogroms, Holocaust, Chukas HaGoyim. You have to return. You don't have a choice. You can't stay in Golos. So Rabbi Krauss said Rabbi Krauss said in the name of Rav Kook that those coordinate, those line up with the three levels of shofars.
Very interesting. Nice sport. It sounds very Indian.
Yeah. But everybody's always surprised when Rabbi Krauss would quote.
Oh, Rabbi Krauss quotes
everybody. That's the more you know him, he quotes everybody.
Right.
You know, oftentimes he'll say a vart and he'll say, really, the Beis Halevi and the Lubavitcher Rebbe are saying the same thing, but each in their own terminology. You know? You know. Were you at the Hilton?
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
We took our son had his 40th birthday. So there's a beautiful restaurant here called Daria. So we took them all out to this restaurant. The wine was, we anticipated that we would have a hard time driving private. Decided we stay overnight. Then we were in the Danakadia, also in Herzliya, a couple days ago. You know, the best part of this trip, I rented a car, and Susie and I just get in the car and just go. We were in Zichron Yaakov, went to Kesaria. We just pick up and go.
I love Kesaria. I love Kesaria. I'm looking at renting a house next summer for a few weeks in Kesaria.
You should look into Zichron Yaakov.
Yeah.
It's up in the north. It's so beautiful there. To rent a place for a few weeks.
Yeah, I want to go for a month or 3 weeks, work remotely and just maybe rent, a week in point one and a week in point two, a week in point three. Something like that.
A good idea. Okay, let's start.
I'm ready. Nun test.
No, we're on Samith.
Oh, sorry.
We did Nun test.
Okay.
Just for housekeeping, I'm gonna teach tomorrow at 7:45 a.m., which is 5:45 p.m. my time. Last week I did 6 p.m. my time, but Shabbos is earlier. So,
most likely I'll get that one via Zoom via tape later in the day. Those are tough hours for me.
I hear people joining. I don't see their faces.
Yeah, Walter just logged in, and Mario's on, and Alan's on.
Beautiful. Okay.
You say 7:45, that's Friday, not Thursday, right?
No, yeah, tomorrow morning.
Oh, tomorrow is Thursday. You said 7:45 tomorrow. So you're talking about Friday morning, Ernie?
No, I'm talking about first.
So Thursday morning, our time, 7:45?
No. Tomorrow night will be 9 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
And then Friday will be 7:45 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's clear, because you said tomorrow morning, and you said 7:45. Okay, that's fine. Clearing.
9 p.m. our night.
Okay.
Okay, off the speaker share. Okay, thank
Correct. Ad kama. How old does the child have to be that we said that if the child is nursing and recognizes its mother, then if they get divorced, there would be a din that she would be forced to have to continue nursing, but she could demand payment for it. Because if she separates from the child completely, the child might die. Because at some point the child recognizes its mother.
You didn't start yet, right? Did
And
you start?
Would not nurse properly otherwise. Now, ad kama, how old does the child have to be to recognize its mother? 3 months. Shmuel says 30 days. Rav Yitzchak Amar Rav Yechon 50 days. Amar Rav Shimi Bar Abaye, Bachar Rav Yitzchak, Amar Mishum Rav Yechon, that's 50 days. Bishma Rav Yechon Kol Chad V'Chad Ki Forfeit. I understand 30 and 3 months and 30, each one based on the charifas, on how intelligent the child is. They had machlokes. Ela l'shmuel ki ha'gavna mimishkachas. Shmuel, it means I understand 50 days and 3 months, but 30 days seems pretty young for an infant to recognize its mother. So the Gemara says no. Don't run away from the following principles. As long as the infant recognizes its mother, which is a minimum of 30 days. This kind of case, a grusha that didn't want to nurse its mother, that didn't want to nurse its child, came in front of Shmuel. Rav Dimi Bar Yosef, told Rav Dimi, go Zilbodka, go check her. Do an experiment to see if the child recognizes its mother. Ozal, he went. He made a line of women. He took the infant, went down the line of women. When he got to the mother, the infant stared at the mother's face. The mother lowered her eyes and didn't want to look at the child. No, lift your eyes. Go take your child. So you can see the infant, even at such a young age, recognize its mother. If as for sure the child can't see, can the child still recognize? The time, yeah, with smell and with taste of the milk, it could recognize its mother. You're allowed to nurse a child up until 24 months. Beyond that, the milk is not kosher, and you can't nurse longer than 24 months. What do you mean? A child could be 4 or 5 years old and continue nursing. No problem. However, if the child separated from nursing after 24 months, then it's kiyonic shekets. Then it's not kosher anymore. And Yezer said, if a child nurses beyond 24 months, it's like you're nursing from a chazir. I may think that human milk, it's not kosher, like the milk of a behemoth tmeya, the dinu, and it'd be a kavachomer. An unkosher animal like a pig, when you touch it, you don't become tamei. But you were machmir by its chalev, by its chalav, its milk, and its tamei. Other, a human being, there are some human beings that if you touch them, you become tamei, like a zav or a nida. So eno din shetachmer b'chalavo, that human milk certainly should be tamei. Talmud loymar, there's a pasuk. Es hagamal ki malege rahu. The gamal is not kosher because it chews its cud, but it doesn't have a split hoof. Who tamei? The ein chalav malchish time tamei. The camel is treif, but not the milk of a two-legged person, two-legged animal, meaning a human being. Elatoh. Yachol otzias a chalav. Maybe it's not coming to be mater milk because only females make milk. And maybe if the law otzias adam shushav b'kol, maybe it comes to allow us to permit eating blood of a human being, because that's something that all human beings have. It's also a drasha. Only, right, the law otzi dam. I might think not to exclude dam. No, we make the same drasha. The camel is tamei. The ein dam achish time tamei. Elator. Human blood
is the cholav of a behemoth tameya a tamei once it's out of the milk, out of the behemoth's body. If you touch a cholav tameya, from a tray, is it tameya? The milk you touch pig.
Not kosher. Tamei here means you can't drink it.
Oh, but it doesn't become tamei when you touch it, though. Not like
no. It's a trace.
All right. Okay.
Similarly, human blood is kosher. Tohu. There's no trephis by human blood. Amrav Sheshes. Afilu mitzvahs precious angel. Not only that, there is no rabbinic prohibition to stay away from human blood. So then, based on this libud, why did Rabbi Ezra say, we just proved that you can drink human milk? So why did Rabbi Ezra say a child beyond 24 months is kiyonik shekets? Loy kasha. Depends. How the parish, if the mother milked it and put it into a bottle, then there's no isra. But the milk in the woman's breast, there's an isra medivre chachamim, and it's considered kiyonik shekets above 24 months, according to Rabbi Ezra. The chalufa b'dam, it's opposite with blood. It means the blood that separates from the human being into a bottle would be. That means dam from the body itself would have no isser. Dam that separates would have an isser. Kidatanya. Dam shal gabi kikar. You have a piece of blood on a piece of bread. So midoraisa, there's no isser. Chachamim say goyrero, scrape it off the ochma. However, let's say you have some blood between your teeth. Shebein hashinai and moitzoy. You can swallow that and no problem. And that's the halacha. Dam adam shapir shmenu aser v'shamar zayin. Let's say you were bleeding on a piece of bread. Meaning, minator, you can eat it. The chachamim say, mimar zayin, take it off. If you're eating a piece of bread and some blood came onto the bread, and you can identify it, you should scrape it up. But the blood that's still with your teeth, it didn't separate, lo piresh, you can swallow it. That's how the Rambam passed. That's how we passed it. Rabbi Yeshua Omerma. Rabbi Yeshua Omer. Filu arba v'chamesh shan. That even a 4-year-old child can continue nursing. Even if he's going to school with a backpack, he can still nurse. What's this 4 or 5? It's the same shear. No different. He means 4 or 5. The Rambam says a child can nurse until at the end of his 4th year. And at the end of his 5th year, if he's weak. That's the halacha. Rav Yosef Halacha Rav Yeshua. Tanya Rav Marinus Oimer. Goineach yoinech cholov b'Shabbos. Someone who's sick, he needs milk. He can nurse directly from a behem on Shabbos, from its udder. You don't milk it because that's a malacha. And by going directly to its udder, sort of nursing from the animal, it's kilach hayat. It's doing it with a shinu. And then the malach of dash, which is the malach of when you milk a cow, is avoided. My time. By nursing, it's considered a shinu. Moving Sarah, when a person is in Sar, we're not talking about Pikuach Nefesh. He's weak. The milk will help him remove his pain. He's groaning. So there the Chachamim are not Goizer. Otherwise, they're Goizer. Rav Yosef, halacha Rav Marinus. That's the halacha. Tanya Nachum Ishgal Yoimer. Sidor Sha'al Bo Kaskasim. They have a drainage pipe, and it got filled up with grasses and weeds. It's not draining water properly. You can sort of kick them away with your feet. What about tikkun kli? Right, there's a tikkun mana, there's a malach on Shabbos. So it's being done kilachayat. And right, my time of Masakin kilachayat. Since this would lead to a big hefsid, the Chacham are not goyzer. These are important halachas. Rav Yosef Allah Kanochum Yishkalya. We said if the child stopped nursing after 24 months and then went back, so that we don't allow. Kama. How much when we say he separates the Zman Prisha, how much is the Zman Prisha? Once a child stops nursing for 3 days, after 24 months, he can't go back and nurse again. Same thing. He said that a wife has a chiyuv in the ksuba to nurse a husband's child for at least 24 months. What if the husband dies within 24 months? Areza lo sisares. Number one, he cannot get kiddush. Lo tinase, not get married. Ad esir rabachod shte married. These things, she might live with the man. She'll have another pregnancy. It'll stop her from nursing. It'll damage the child. She has a requirement to stay single for at least 24 months. Rav Yehuda permits after 18 months. Because anyways, it's not going to be, she's not going to get pregnant for 3 months. It's machlokes Beis Hillel Beis Shammai. Beis Shammai oimrim esrim bar machlokes. Beis Hillel oimrim shmona asur that she can get married. I will compromise. The divrei oimer esrim bar machlokes muteres nasi esrim bar machlokes. The one who says 24 months is allowed to have nesuin at 21 months. Even if she got pregnant, it will not interfere with the nursing process for another 3 months. So you'll get to 24 months, even if she gets married at 21 months. The one who matirs at 18 months can actually get married at 15 months for the same reason. The milk doesn't get ruined until 3 months into a pregnancy. Which is 15 months. However, the halacha is just wait 24 months. We'll see the maskana is 24 months. We make it a low plume. Baruch said Rav Chanina permitted to get married in 15 months. Arise, the Abaya also come in Abaya. It's a worker that worked for Abaya. They came to ask a shayla. Omerle, can you get kiddushin at 15 months? Number one, when you have the machlokes Rabbi Yehuda, the halachos Rabbi Yehuda, which said 18 months. God Beis Shammai they said halach Beis Hillel. Gomer ul halach Rabbi Yehuda. Gomer ul li hit Rabbi Chanina says lacha chamisha achar chodesh. Koshchem the atleyaris. That's the suing. So certainly, I'm going to give you permission to get kiddushin at 15 months. However, ki also kamer of this or le rabu shmol dem tavayu. Tzrich lamtin etzem Rabbi chodesh. It's a low pluk din. Every woman has to wait 24 months. Except for the day of birth and the day of Kiddush. So Abaya was concerned that he paskined inappropriately. Rod Basreit Flosa Parsa. He ran after the guy 3 parsa. The army law parsa b'chala. The law adreche. He never found the guy to tell him that he paskined wrong. So Abai learned a lesson. So everybody knows that an egg is not flation, and that you can eat an egg with milk. Kutach was like a mayonnaise that was made with milk. So he says even the psak that you can eat eggs with this milk-thick mayonnaise, a person should matir if he's in the place of his rabbi. Lo mishum de mefzik ke'av kirusa. Not because you're being moira halacha lefnei rabbi. Ela mishum lo mistay milsa l'meimah. You're not going to have mazel to come up with the right halacha. I learned the law of Rabbi Shmuel. I didn't have the supposed to say over the halacha correctly. If the wife hired out a nursemaid for her son, or weaned him, or mace, or God forbid the child died, she can marry right away. Because there's no problem anymore that if she got married, it would stop her from nursing. She's not nursing anymore. They wanted to pass him like that price. A certain old woman said, Rav Nachman prohibited me from getting remarried. He permitted someone in the house of Reish Kalusa. Shani Be Reish Kalusa and Lauder B'Mu. They don't return if once you give a child to a meinekes, they don't return because of the fear of the Rosh Goyla. But other people, maybe they won't nurse well with the nursemaid. They'll have to be brought back to the mother. You have to keep the mother in a state where she can keep on nursing. What about the following price? The Tanya, let's say after she gets married, she would spend a lot of time in her father's house, meaning she's not available to get pregnant with a new husband. Right? We're worried if she gets remarried soon, she'll stop nursing. Let's say this is a woman who keeps on going back to her father's house. She would not have the time to have relations with her new husband. Or she's angry with her husband. Her husband is in prison. Her husband's in China. He was old, impotent, sick. Or she was akara, she couldn't have children. Skena, too old, islandless. Even by physical, anatomic, and physiological mechanisms, could not have children. She's a katana, she can't get pregnant. But let's say she had a miscarriage after the death of her husband. There's no way that she can get pregnant. Or Shena Ruyalele, Kulon Tzrichalam Tishlosh Chadosh. This is the law that if a wife's husband dies, or if she's Mekaresh, you have to wait 3 months for Havchana. Otherwise, you won't know if she gets pregnant, whose child it is. Is it the first husband or the second husband? But this is even if the first husband was in jail, was in China, there was no way that they could have gotten pregnant. It's a low plug. The din is there's avchana 3 months. The Rabbi Yossi, in these cases, Rabbi Yossi permits the woman to get married right away. So we go back that the halacha should be like Rav Meir. We wait 24 months no matter what. If the child died, if she weaned him, she can't get married. Even if the child died. Why? We're worried she's going to kill the child. The Oslo mitzvah, since she knows the child is what's preventing her from getting remarried, she's going to kill the child. If the din was mace, she could mutter to get married. So we say no, it's low plug. There was a case where a mother choked the child, the low. She was a Michigan. Jewish women don't choke their children. Let's say somebody gave a wife has a child. She's nursing a child. And somebody's going to pay her to nurse another child. You should accept to do that because it's going to reduce the milk that she has for her child. If she accepts to be paid for it, then she has to sort of for double to be able to make enough milk for both children. However, she should not eat bad things that spoil the milk. If you're not allowed to do it for your son, certainly there's no child about this. Your friend's child. Her child that she loves from Matzilei Tfei, she's going to eat plenty. It wasn't for the fact that they were giving her more to eat, she won't do it. You might think it'd be mutter to her to give, if she had more milk, by eating more to the ben chaver. To come out that we don't allow it. The Rambam says, you give her more good food that makes more milk. Otherwise, she has to eat and pay for it from her own money. Because normally, if the mezonos that the Baal is giving her is not enough, she has a chiyuv to pay for it out of her own money, because that's her chiyuv to provide nursing for the child.
How does a woman give milk to twins or triplets? Does she get more automatically? The woman is able to do it. So therefore, if it takes another person in with one child, she may have enough without having to be a big problem. How does she do it with twins? So,
No, yeah, the husband has to give her. It's just if the husband doesn't give her, she has to get the money from herself, from her Maaseh Yadayim, or whatever.
If you mean if she takes another child in?
She's not allowed to take another child. She's not allowed to take another child in.
What? Because she doesn't have enough milk.
So she's gonna decrease the milk for her own child. The board just said it's low.
So how do we do with twins?
We're talking about how much mizonos she needs. She needs the husband has to give her more mizonos for more milk. And like you say, if it's triplets, he has to give more. And if she doesn't get more, she has to get more from her own money. She has to pay for it. And what are the bad things for milk? Kshus is humlin, kaziz, some kind of grass. The chaziz, the duck, and the herring, sardines. Vadaman, dirt. Abaya Omar Filu Kar v'chabusha. Kar is like a pumpkin. Kavusha is kurtzia. Rafab Omar Filu Kar v'kufra. Pumpkin and caper bush. I'm sorry, tmorim, small dates. Ravashi Omar Filu Kamcha v'harsna. Kamcha is kutaf, mayonnaise. Harsna is fried fish. These are bad for milk. Minayu paski chaba, minayu afmi chaba. Some of these decrease the amount of milk. Some of them make the milk bad. Then, the mishamsha bereche. Now we're talking about medicine things. That's going to lead to problems with children if you're pregnant. Someone who is using a rechayim, a grinder, like in a mill, they have like epileptic children. The mashmal, I'm sorry. So they're having relations. This is location of where they're having relations, the husband and wife. If they have relations in a physical building that does grinding of wheat, the child they'll have from that seafood is epilepsy. The menshashal are if they have relations on the ground, havale bnei shamuti. The children that will be born will have long necks. The dark al ramadachama. Somebody who's pregnant who walks on dung of donkeys, havale bnei girdini. They'll be bald. The achla chardala, a woman who eats mustard during pregnancy, havale bnei zilzumi. They will be like gluttons. The achla tachli, a woman who eats watercress, havale b'nei dolphini. They will have children that will tear a lot. The achla munini, havale b'nei mitzitzi eine. If they eat fish juice, they'll have problems with their eyes. Enough porchos phenos, it's like, move, what do you call it? Strabismus. People whose eyes are always moving back and forth. The achla gargushta. Rashi says, earth, if they eat dirt, the children will be ugly. The Shasya Shich, if she drinks beer, they'll be dark skin. The Achla Bisra B'Shasya, if they eat meat and drink wine, the children will be barya, will be healthy. Okay. So tomorrow night, 9:00, Friday morning, 7:45 a.m. Just want to show everybody Tel Aviv in the morning.
Beautiful.